Toru Osawa, legendary producer and father of the Kid Icarus series, was initially inspired to create a new game based on his love for Greek mythology. While initially this was supposed to be a game with really serious tone, eventually it turned out to be a more silly one, once Osawa decided to inject in his weird obsession with eggplants, credit cards, nurses, and enemies based on his co-workers. Pit, the protagonist of this game, was sort of a result of this switch in production. Compared to his brothers of the time, like Link and Samus, who tend to look cool and tall in their artwork and game art, Pit is just a tiny little guy with dot eyes and a goofy face. He's kind of a little gremlin compared to the other heroes of 1986, and this from the beginning sort of reflected the goofier nature of the Kid Icarus series. It is also similar to another hero Osawa worked on, the Prince of Sable, whose game is also his own parodic take on classic fantasy stories with knights in shining armor and princesses to rescue. Another thing that classic Pit encapsulates really well is the weird direction the series goes when it comes to take inspiration from the Greek myths. That rather than take a direct inspiration from a story or characters, they just put a bunch of them together in a blender and see what came out of it. Pit's name is based on abbreviation Cupito, also known as Cupid, the Romanesque version of the god of love Eros. The use of a bow and the hair collectibles further encapsulate this inspiration. But it is also based on Perseus, the guy who killed Medusa while supported by the help of the goddess Athena. Even the inspiration to Icarus, the guy the series is named after, may have been a result of a change in localization, since this myth is not really homaged in the Japanese version of the classics, but rather in its sequels. So yeah, original Pit is a goofy one, a guy that compared to his brothers was never really meant to be taken seriously, and he remained that way even following the release of the original Kid Icarus, at least until someone decided to give a complete revamp of his own character.